Sit! Welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast, where we discuss dynasty strategy, rankings, and all things NFL. So get ready to geek out on fantasy football with your host, Rich Dotson.
And welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Rich Dotson. Here are my fellow nerds, Matt O'Hara,
hey,
Garret Price.
How's it going?
That's it. I was going to say somebody else, but here we are.
There is no one else. It's just the three of us.
Just us. Same people as always.
It's still the same thing. It's still Dynasty Game Week, so we're still playing some games here. Excited as that is. So, Garret, what are we doing today's episode?
So we have two games we're going to play. I could sneak in a third if we have time, but we never have time. So I'm assuming we're only going to be playing two games today. So first game is a game that we've only played one time. We played it last summer, and Rich absolutely hated it. His least favorite game. He made it very vocal that this game sucks and he never wants to play it again. But either ironically or unironically, I'm not sure which, but we had arguably the most people reach out to both Rich and I talking about how much fun they had playing this game along with us. And so we have decided to bring it back, and this is the trade game. So I will give you guys a scenario. Well, you're a contending team, and here's the format, and here's the player you're selling. What are you trying to get back in value? And we'll go through that. And then the second game that we're going to be playing is Blind Resume, a game we've played on several occasions. I give you guys clues about a player. You guys have to try to guess who it is, and then we talk about their value.
So
Sound good?
So just to be clear, we can't have the Dynasty Nerds app open during this at all, right? We're not allowed.
No app open.
Trade
make it very easy.
browser or trade. Okay, all right. None of our tools. All right.
Even ADP, no ADP.
No ADP. All right, fine.
You gotta go off the dome.
All right, from the dome.
All right, that's fine. I'm gonna use my brain.
All right. So we are going to go with all 12-team superflex tight end premium leagues. So we're going to keep it the knowledge base that we have the most of. These are the leagues that we majority play in, our 12-team superflex tight end premium. So I decided to keep it consistent across the board. We're going to do all 12-team superflex tight end premium leagues.
Okay.
So here's how it'll work. Both of you guys will write down, or if you trust each other, to be honest, you guys can just say it out loud. But one person will give their answer as to who they would trade in this scenario. Another person will give their answer, and I will calculate the value and see who was the closest to getting it correct. Now, you can be over or under the value. So, for example, this is not one we're actually going to do, but let's say 12-team Superflex tight end premium, you're a rebuilder, and you are attempting to sell Amon-Ra St. Brown. You are trying to get back in this rebuild young assets, but it needs to be multiple young assets. Give me a trade that's going to be approximately the same value as Amon-Ra St. Brown. You will both then give me a number. I'll add certain caveats in each one to make each one a little bit different, but that's kind of the overall concept. You guys good?
Yes.
Was that the question or no?
Matt, I don't know. That was just an example, so that way everybody understood.
All right.
Here's the first one.
Workshopping that one in my brain. I thought that was going to be the question.
Brain.
All right.
Turning.
Yep.
All right. Here's the first one. All of them are 12-team Superflex tight end premium. You are a contender. We're going to start off fairly easy. You are selling Travis Hunter. You are allowed to get anything back. I'm not going to give any requirements on this one. Anything back that you would determine would be a good asset or assets to get as a contender. It can be one player, it can be multiple players, whatever you want. And you're trying to get closest to the value of Travis Hunter. A very fair, even trade. Ready, go. While you guys are thinking about that, let me know when you have your answers, when you're both ready. And I'll make sure that I stop jabbering, give you guys enough time. And we can even cut out some of the dead air, Peter. If we have too much dead air during this time, you can just cut it and it'll be like nothing ever happened. No one will even know.
So Travis Hunter, basically the 1, 3, 4, 5 pick this year. Okay. I'm just trying to think of where he landed and how. All right. And what you
now,
do
one caveat I forgot to say is it can only be players, because if we start to use picks, you'll know the value of the picks after the first time, and then that'll be like a base point. So no picks, it has to be players.
Okay.
You feel good about yours, Rich?
We can do multiple players though.
It can be one or multiple on this one. Every time I'll kind of give you the caveat of what you have to do that round.
Okay.
So it can be anything this round.
Okay. So
I have mine.
You have yours ready? All right. Matt, are you ready? Okay. We'll have Rich go first, and then we'll have you go second, and then next time we'll have you go first and Rich go second.
That sounds good. Yep.
I think I just cut my cheek scratching it.
Okay. All right. Rich, go ahead and give me your player or players that you would try to make an even trade for Travis Hunter.
I'm going to offer Kyren Williams and Cortland Sutton.
Who's the guy I was looking at?
Kyren Williams. So you're selling Travis Hunter. You're going to get back Kyren Williams and Cortland Sutton as
I'm selling them. That's what I'm getting back.
Yes.
This is what you're getting back. I mean, should still be the same value either way, but
yeah, you're looking for a value matchup. You're getting rid of this young guy who you don't know about, and you're getting veterans. Or
I want to say Judy, but I value him higher than how other people's ADP is going to value him. So I'm going to say I'm going to go Kyren Williams, and I feel like I want to go a little bit of a younger receiver though. That's kind of like I don't really love that getting that back. Let's go. You know what? I'm going to go Mike Evans and Kyren Williams.
Okay, Mike Evans.
Yes.
And Kyren Williams.
I don't like this trade. I would never make this deal. I'm looking at the other way around now. So I'm offering.
You're
just changing the rules of the game?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Sounds good.
All right. Give me a. Is this guy too high?
He's offer a draft pick. Watch, change the rules.
No. I'm just trying to figure out if he's going to be higher or lower in our. He's probably going to be a little higher. Man, this is harder than I thought it was going to be.
And it's probably clear, but you cannot keep taking the same player, so you cannot take Kyren or Mike Evans.
Okay. Give me Bucky Irving. Say Tucker. I hate myself right now. I was going to say Tucker. Let me just go Tuckercraft, because I think Bucky's got a lot of value. I don't think there's going to be a lot of meat left on that bone. Give me Tuckercraft. I don't think he's worth that much in our calculator.
All right. So it's plus or minus value. It's just the closest. It does not matter. So, Rich, you are trading away Travis Hunter. You are getting back Kyren Williams and Mike Evans as a contender.
Great trade offer.
The value of Travis Hunter is $4,723. Rich, your value is $3,795. So you are off by $928.
Oh,
Matt,
I'm going to be low.
You gave Travis Hunter. You got back Bucky Irving and Tucker Kraft. Bucky Irving is worth $3,913. Tucker Kraft, $1,025 for a total value of $4,938. You were only off by $215. So you win round one.
Winner, chicken dinner. I'm totally redeeming myself from that terrible loss that I had in that last game show we played, whatever the name of that one was.
Whatever that was.
Whatever that.
Fantasy Feud.
Oh, man, I don't even want to talk about it.
That's a good show.
F's.
But I guess I was right. There wasn't a lot of meat left on that bone after the Bucky Irving. All right. I think
it was. I mean, that was a very fair trade overall, like very equal.
Yeah.
Good offer. All right. Next one here. We are now in rebuild. And so we are selling Jalen Hurts. We are in rebuild, selling Jalen Hurts. Here's what we need you to do. We need you to tear down at quarterback and get an additional young asset. Tear down at quarterback and get an additional young asset. Ready, go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So give me Bo Nix
Oh, he was ready to go. Okay, Bo Nix.
And that might be too high. That may be too much. No, give me Bo Nix and Lad McConkey. Let me see what we got. Roll the dice. That's probably too much. That's probably too much.
And Lad McConkey.
I'm going to call it. It's too much, but that's okay. That sounds great. It would be a great deal for me.
It sounds like a deal I would like to get.
Yep. Sounds like a deal I would love to get.
Here's a deal that I would love to get. Give me Brock Purdy and a Mecca Egbuka.
Ooh, I like yours better.
Purdy and a Mecca.
From a
Down
value standpoint, I like that.
Trying to reverse my camera, see how bad I cut my cheek here.
Why did you cut your cheek? I
was scratching. Like I got a bug bite. These damn, you go out there and watch these travel baseball games. All of a sudden, the insects think you're on the menu. They're like, "Oh, look at that delicious piece of meat over there."
Chewed up last week and this week. Yep.
Yeah, nibbling on.
All right. So Jalen Hurts value, and obviously he's a first round startup pick.
Yep.
Thursday.
He is worth 8,700 points in our trade calculator. 8,700 Dynasty points. Matt, you went first this time. You went with Bo Nix, which is worth 4,506 points, and Lad McConkey, who's worth 4,835 points for a grand total of 9,341. So you are off by 614 points.
Not bad.
I would love the Bo Nix and Lad McConkey side there.
Totes.
I would too. If you're confident in Bo Nix, that
is true.
It's all about the Knicks there. All right, here we go. Rich, you are trading away Jalen Hurts. You got in return Brock Purdy, who is worth 4,299 points.
Well, there's a feeling that Emeka Egbuka is not worth as much as Lad McConkey for some reason now.
There's a chance. Emeka Egbuka, 2,334 points. Matt was off by 641. Rich was off by 2,067. So Matt has taken the first 2 rounds of our trade game.
I obviously got to start saying get way more ridiculous in these offers that would get rejected. But okay. I'm throwing out realistic offers, and Matt's over here living in Alice in Wonderland.
I'm living in Championshipville is where I'm living. That's the path I'm going down, sir.
Yeah. That's very
right now. I'm going to be more greedy. Gag in my mouth, and you got that leather whip dominating me.
Just deal with it, Rich. Deal with it.
We are a contender in this 12-team Superflex tight end premium league. So we are giving up Colston, Loveland, and Devonta Smith. And we desperately need running backs. So it could be 1 running back, or you could get 2 running backs. It's up to you. But we desperately need running backs. So we're giving up Colston, Loveland, and Devonta Smith. Rich, you will go first this time. No rush. Take your time.
No, dude. If we're living in La La Land, go ahead and give me Devon Achane.
All right, Devon Achane for Colston, Loveland, and Devonta Smith.
So this is tight end premium, right? So this is Superflex tight end premium, still 12-team. Yeah, that's not bad. I already picked that other guy, so I can't pick him now. Desperation is a stinky, stinky cologne. But we're desperate for running backs, right? And
we are desperate.
Okay.
We need them.
I'll just go out there and get Bijan, Matt. Come on, that's the world you're living in.
Well, you didn't say it had to be just one. I might need guys. I might have Bijan, and that's it. You know what I mean? This you never know what we're dealing with here. So I'm gonna go James Cook and Alvin Kamara. See if I can get both those guys, because I'm in La La Land.
All right, so we've got James Cook and Alvin Kamara.
Wait, are we in contender mode? Or just
no? These are all dynasty trades.
Okay, all right.
These are all dynasty trades, but you are a contending team, so you're looking at sets to help you win this year.
Like and leave a comment if you'd like to see us do redraft content.
No, I wanted to make sure we weren't doing contender mode when we're pretending we're a contender. You know what I mean? Because the values are a little bit different for a guy like Alvin Kamara. In that.
These are must-have receivers for the 2025 season. These are the receivers you're not sleeping on in 2025.
All right. So the value for Colston, Loveland, and Devonta Smith in a superflex tight end premium league is $5,639. Rich went with Devon Achane, who is worth $5,438. So
man.
he is off by only 201.
Guess who's back?
Matt said James Cook,
back.
who's worth 2,624 points, and Alvin Kamara, who's worth 1,359 points. So he is off by 1,600. Matt, you lost this one. Rich is coming back with the closest of all of them so far at 201.
I'm trying to get Matt to the back of the line, but if you're watching YouTube, coming back also works there.
All right.
The old comeback award.
All right. All right. We are a rebuilding team in this 12-team Superflex tight end premium league. We are rebuilding.
Okay.
And so obviously we would be selling Saquon Barkley. All right. We're selling Saquon Barkley. What your team needs is anything but running backs. You are a rebuilding team. You do not want them. So you are open to any player or combination of players that is not a running back.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
And I'm up first on this one, right? No, I'm up. I'm up
you
first.
Are up first.
Yeah,
take your time. You don't have to rush.
No, Rich was up first last time. I'm definitely going to go first this time. I think, obviously this being Superflex tight end premium, I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to go for a premium position here. And I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to go Jordan Love just straight up. I'm going to hope that I can get a quarterback for Saquon in this crazy scenario here, which probably wouldn't happen in real life, but from a value standpoint, I think they're probably pretty close.
I too am going to go Paul Abdul style, and I'm going to go straight up as well. And I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr.
I actually, this time I was smart. I had formulas already pre-built. So that way when I type in the number, it tells me how far off each person is. So I was ahead of the game on this one. All right. So Matt went first. He went straight up with Jordan Love on this one. Saquon Barkley's value, $5,188.
Oh, no.
Jordan Love's value, $5,835. So he's off by 640.
That seems like too much.
Now we have Rich. Rich gave us Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr. that he was asking for in return for Saquon Barkley, which I would ask for as well. I would have asked for both those players in return. His value, $6,116. Just barely got you. Matt with 647 off. Rich, you were 928. That was by far the closest one, though. Of all.
I can't believe Jordan Love is valued lower than Saquon Barkley.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, he's not lower than Saquon. He's lower than Marvin.
He's lower than Marvin. In this, though, we have him in our rankings, in our system. We have Jordan Love above Saquon Barkley. We have Marvin Harrison above Saquon Barkley. So these are all to the good. Now, ADP-wise, Saquon Barkley is ahead of those two guys. But in our trade calculator, our numbers, our GM tool, we have Jordan Love and Marvin Harrison valued higher.
Rightfully so.
All right. Here we go. Next one. We are once again in a rebuild. We are selling Mike Evans, Matthew Stafford, and Chuba Hubbard.
Yes, those are all sells.
Yep.
In a rebuild.
Mike Evans, Matthew Stafford, and Chuba Hubbard. We're selling all three of them. You want back a quarterback or wide receiver or multiple of those assets. So quarterback or receiver or multiple of those assets. This team has Brock Bowers. They don't need tight end.
They don't need any tight end. Okay.
I just pick one player.
You can pick one or you can pick multiple.
Can I go first?
You're up first because I need to actually refresh on who the players were. There was
Mike Evans.
Yep.
Mike Evans, Matthew Stafford, Chuba Hubbard.
All right.
Rich, whenever you're ready.
I'm going to go quarterback here.
Okay.
And I still hope the market hasn't caught up to my love, and that's JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
Please take this big pile of dinosaur bones and please give me the future quarterback one. Please. Please don't say no. Oh, no, it's already been rejected.
All right.
Matt. I think that was a good call there. I'm trying to think of somebody that I view similarly.
It can be multiple. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm going to go. Shoot, man. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. And maybe just a little something. I don't think I can. Man, I can get a little something. Little something. I just want like a little. I don't need tight end. You said right? Because I got Brock Bowers.
I would say be like Terrence Ferguson would make it like it.
What'd you say?
Like Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody real cheap, but a throw-in type of guy, huh? I keep seeing guys, but I don't like them.
You had a deep stash. You could go with him, I guess.
With who?
Didn't you have a deep stash prepared for the show?
I did. I don't know how much value he's gonna. Let's go for it. Malik Washington. Why not? I mean, this guy. I think
I have no idea what his value is.
Yeah,
it had 7 points.
Yeah, it probably has absolutely nothing.
His value is 0.
I was gonna say it's probably
his value is 0.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to stick with Malik Washington?
No. You kind of forced my hand there. He was my deep stash though. All right. So the guy that I'm going to throw out there instead, can I just get like a Jalen McMillan? That's probably not worth much either. But who knows? McMillan. You know, he's buried on a depth chart. But
all right. The combined value of Mike Evans, Matthew Stafford. Oops. Let me switch that. Mike Evans, Matthew Stafford, Chuba Hubbard is 2,810.
I think that's a little bit lower than I had allotted in my brain. I thought it was in the 3,500 range.
No.
All right.
2,810.
I think we're both going to be over.
You guys are both over. Not as much as you would think, though. Rich, you should be thankful that Matt added that sweet little treat on top because that ended up being the difference.
No.
JJ McCarthy's value, 3,167. Matt's value, 3,311. McMillan added 217 to your value, which gave you about 150 more points.
And I was pretty close for my 3,500, which is what I thought I was shooting for. So I was pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So right now we have Matt, you have 3. Rich, you have 2. I have 7 of these prepared. So if, Matt, you are to win this one, you will win the round. If not, we will have our final one, which will be our game 7.
All right.
All right?
Yep.
So who's going first this time? I've lost track. Is it Rich?
I think I'm up. I think I'm up because I just went on the last one.
All right, here we go.
Second.
We are a middle of the road team.
Sucker.
Worst.
We are selling because we are confused as to what we're doing. We're selling Justin Jefferson. And here's what we are looking for. We are looking for value. We are looking for value. So the answer, if it is below the value, because you want somebody to tell you what direction to go. Are you going to give me contenders or are you going to give me rebuild, whatever? But I just want value. So if your ask is less than the value of Justin Jefferson, it's automatically eliminated. All right. So it's got to be something that would be worth more than Justin Jefferson, and it has to be at least 2 pieces.
Okay. At least 2, and it's got to be more than the absurd value of Justin Jefferson, which rightfully so absurd. Just to let you know, it's not like
you still want to be the closest,
right?
You still want to be the closest,
right?
But if you pick one that's under his value, then it's eliminated automatically, even if it's by 1 point.
Okay. I'm for sure going to go up top pretty high for my first one. Then I don't want to go too high. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. for my first, or did we use him at some point? I can't remember.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Might have been last game we were talking about Brian Thomas. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. and Sam Laporta.
Okay, Rich.
Okay. I want Quinshon Judkins, Tet McMillan, Mason Taylor, and Jalen Wright.
4-banger. I like it, man. Holy cow.
If I go Justin Jefferson, I'm turning the ship around. Like, I'm stuck in the middle. I need a lot of shots in the gun here. So I'm getting 2 first-round picks, second-round pick, and my guy, Jalen Wright.
All right. So Matt's value, he went with Brian Thomas, and his value is, or sorry, let me tell you Justin Jefferson's first, 9,119. So
I thought he'd be like 10,000-ish.
Okay.
Right.
So, but remember, you got to be over.
Yep.
So Matt, his total value, starting with Brian Thomas Jr., Thomas's value is 6,878. Sam Laporta's value, 4,102 for a total of 10,098. So you did exceed that number, but you're about 1,800 over. Rich, you went with Quinshon Judkins, who was worth 3,320. Tet McMillan, 3,562. Mason Taylor, who's worth 672, and Jalen Wright, who's worth 324. You did not exceed the 9,000. You had 7,887 of value. So Matt has taken the round.
Who's the best trader in this group? It's me. It's me.
I feel like it's not a terrible get back for Justin Jefferson if I'm trying to flip the script there.
Yeah.
I guess you're not getting value, though.
What would have been my total value? I want to ask for Trevion Henderson, but I thought I'd been like way over there.
Instead of Judkins?
Yeah.
If you would have asked for Trey instead, 8,959.
Wow.
So you actually still would have been under, because Justin Jefferson's value is 9,119.
Oh, okay.
So you would have been almost exact, actually. That would have been very close if we were doing it that way. That would have been almost perfect.
If I have Justin Jefferson, somebody offered me Trevion Henderson, Tet McMillan, Mason Taylor, and Jalen Wright, like, I'm like, okay.
I mean, in the right situation, but I don't think. I mean, I don't think just automatically. I think Jalen Wright's not anything proven, and I mean, none of those guys are anything proven. But
yeah, that's true too. I'm taking all the risk.
Yeah, you're taking all the risk, which is why I went with Brian Thomas and Sam Laporta. I mean, tight end premium. Both those guys have shown it at least. Sam Laporta, I know holds value, but it's not. I mean, he's not like high end like we'd want, except for his rookie season.
That makes sense. Your offer is pretty reasonable. So, all right. Well, we got another game coming up. Before we do, I got to tell you about our partnership with FastDraft. Again, that continues to grow. They've launched something completely different they have going on now. And it's that rabbit tournament we were talking about last week. And again, this isn't your typical best ball format, and it's creating like these great opportunities for very sharp players out there. And here's what makes the rabbit special. 15 roster spots, starting 8 players, full PPR with total points scoring in only 10 teams per draft, going 15 rounds deep. With a 20-second clock, the drafts finish in just under 20 minutes. That's why it's FastDraft. Twice as fast as traditional best ball. Plus, it's completely rake-free, giving volume players the best possible return on investment. The best part, since many new players are discovering that best ball through FastDraft, the ADP is still considered soft, perfect for experienced Dynasty players to exploit. Use the promo code NERDS when you sign up, and FastDraft will match your deposit 100% up to $50. Non-members who are non-members of the Nerd Herd who deposit at least $10 and enter a contest still receive that free year of our premium Nerd Herd plus Dynasty GM bundle. If you're already a member, you're going to get a $25 gift card for the Dynasty Nerd store, which can be used on our YouTube show, Roster Rescue, or anything else in the merch store. So download the FastDraft app or go to draftfaster.com. Use that code NERDS. Let's dominate the rabbit together. Promo codes and t-shirts are sent weekly.
All right. And don't forget about myffpc.com. That's myffpc.com. An amazing place to go play Dynasty Fantasy Football. You can play in some inexpensive leagues. We'll give you $25 off those leagues with promo codes NERD. So if you want to play in a $35 league, that's just a $10 league. Very, very inexpensive for your startup. But some of you guys like to play in those higher stakes leagues, which I think is awesome. So that means you could be playing in leagues that are 1K, 2K, even 2.5K startup cost. That means if you win that bad boy, you are getting a ton of do-re-mi in return. So head over to myffpc.com. Use that promo code NERDS today. All right. We are on to our second game here. And this one's a little more laid back, a little more relaxed. This is a blind resume. So I'm going to describe a player, a little factoid, something that might be a little bit elusive for the normal person to know. And you guys are going to have to try to guess what player I am talking about. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. You guys can answer at any point when you feel like you have the correct answer. No winners in this one. It's just for funsies. All right. First one here. Let's go with this one. Despite being a top 8 quarterback in 2022, I have not been a top 12 guy the past 2 seasons, barely missing in 2024, partially due to poor offensive line play that had me sacked as the 3rd most sacked quarterback in the NFL last year. You guys want me to read it again?
Yeah, that was a lot to take in. 2022 top
Despite
12,
being a top 8 quarterback in 2022, has not been a top 12 guy over the past 2 seasons. Just barely missed it, though, this year because he was the 3rd most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
What year was CJ Stroud drafted?
He was drafted in 23.
Okay, so he's not. It's not.
This was only his second.
Yeah. All right.
He was sacked a lot. He was either first or second.
I was just thinking of guys who I know have been sacked a lot, and I know who he was sacked up to. He was up there a lot.
Caleb Williams was number 1 this year.
Right.
CJ Stroud was number 2. This guy was number 3.
Caleb Williams was the first one, but obviously a rookie. I couldn't remember if CJ Stroud was 2 or 3 years. So I think I'm out of ammo. That's as far as my range goes on that stat.
He was hurt. I want to go somebody who was hurt instead. I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is a good guess. It was not Trevor Lawrence, but that was a good guess. That was his best season was 2022. He was not sacked a ton this year because he missed a lot of time.
It's not Dak Prescott, right?
It's not Dak Prescott. Also missed a lot of time this season, so didn't get the opportunity to get sacked as much.
Yeah, I was going to say Tua, but he missed a lot of time.
He missed a lot of time as well. So you need somebody that played a lot of games and just kept taking a pounding.
I'm trying to think.
Top 8 guy in 2022.
Getting pounded out there.
Is it? Was that Geno's year? Is that Geno Smith?
That was Geno Smith. That is the correct answer. Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Geno Smith, top 8 guy in 2022. Just missed it this past year. He was either quarterback 13 or 14, and partly due to he had a lot of turnovers and obviously very poor offensive line play.
I didn't realize the offensive line was that bad. That's what kind of threw me off on that one. Okay.
Yeah, Seattle's offensive line was not great last year. But he's now in a new situation, new environment there in Las Vegas. Taylor and I were actually the other day on Roster Rescue debating whether or not you feel comfortable as a contender with Geno Smith as your quarterback too. I said no. He said yes. How do you guys feel about that?
Could be worse.
I mean, it could be worse. I don't feel great. I don't think with Geno Smith in my everyday lineup
is like the cutoff for me as like I feel good about my quarterback too as a contender. If I'm just in rebuild or mid, whatever. But as like a contender, I need Jared Goff or better to feel good about my quarterback situation at quarterback 2.
I'm with you there. I feel great if he's at my number 3 because he could fill in for a chunk of time. We just don't know what that offense is going to look like quite yet and how long it's going to take to get going. And if things aren't hitting on all cylinders at the very beginning of the season, you might, if he's in your starting lineup, you might lose 4 or 5 games just because you're not getting the kind of production you really want out of your quarterback too. So if you're a contender, that's a problem, I think.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable like with like Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an old guy. Like, give me Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
I think I feel the same. I'd rather have him as well.
What about probably like trade Geno for?
What about Rodgers? Would you rather have Rodgers or Geno just for this year?
Probably Rodgers.
Man, go back and forth. That's tough.
Pretty close, but I mean
that one is
lean Rodgers.
That one's.
Ugh. This is like DK Metcalf.
I don't feel good with either one of those guys in my QB2 though. If I'm
right, no, I feel like they're similar, and I don't want really either one of them in my week in, week out starting lineup. I'm fine spot starting one of those guys if there's a favorable matchup or something like that. But they're hard to rely on. I mean, every week, that's tough.
Yeah. All right, next one here. Despite missing a few games, I collected over 1,000 total yards and 9 rushing touchdowns on the way to a top 24 season in 2024. However, I am currently running back 52 in ADP. I'll read it again. Despite missing a few games, I collected over 1,000 total yards and 9 rushing touchdowns on the way to a top 24 season in 2024. However, I am currently the running back 52 in ADP.
Alvin Kamara.
It is not Alvin Kamara.
Wait, running back 52?
Running back 52. He was a top 24 guy last year with over 1,000 total yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground.
James Conner.
That's what I was about to say. No. And he had over 1,000 total yards, you said?
Total yards. Yep.
Total yards.
Jalen Warren.
Not Jalen Warren. I'll give you guys a hint. It's a guy on a new team this year.
Oh, all right. I was about to guess someone, and that is not it.
Najee Harris is not him.
J.K. Dobbins?
It is J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, currently running back 52. Obviously had a good season last year, top 24 guy, even with missing a few games on a points per game basis. I think he was like running back 15 or something like that on the year. Now he's in Denver. He's there with R.J. Harvey. We touched on it quickly before, but what are our feelings about J.K. Dobbins? If you're a contender, are you okay with him as potentially like a flex guy for you? Are you just avoiding? Because I actually just got done doing the Broncos in my projections this year, and so I was curious how you guys felt about this player.
Yeah, I feel comfortable like as like a potential flex play on my roster. I think we've seen Sean Payton utilize 2 running backs before in his offense. They came out, they signed J.K. Dobbins. They gave him $5 million. So he got a decent amount of money to come there and play as well. He is a versatile player, so they can use him any way they want. Like they would still want to use RJ Harvey as a running back 1 in the passing game. That's totally fine. They feel more comfortable in pass protection with J.K. Dobbins. I understand that as well. Not a lot of receiving options out there. Like we like the upside. Pat Bryant had a good camp. They're bringing Evan Ingram. They got Cortland Sutton. They got Marvin Mims. But I think they are going to rely on that running game. And Sean Payton's going to help out Bo Nix there some. So I think he has a potential to be a flex play. And definitely, like, I think the biggest thing what's nice about J.K. Dobbins and having him, and what's I think worth out going to get him for is like at any point if anything happens to A.J. Harvey, you have a running back 1 on your hands in that Denver offense. So like when you're looking at those guys, they're probably going to get just enough touches to potentially be a flex play. I think J.K. Dobbins still young enough for like on a 1-year deal for future. Yeah, value as well. But like, what a great like upside value, right? Like the guy ahead of him, like how many running backs, like if they go down, like you would love, like obviously Isaac Arendo, like in San Francisco. I think J.K. Dobbins in Denver is another high end one as well. So yeah, I feel pretty good about J.K. Dobbins, and I think he does offer the potential of some flex play. I don't think they sign him for that kind of money and bring him in with so many limited options behind him for him just to be like, oh, just not playing at all.
Right. Matt, I'm assuming you feel pretty similar. Like he's going to be involved and be heavily utilized in this offense.
Yeah, no, I think they wouldn't have brought him in if they didn't have some need for him. I feel like that, he's kind of like the veteran guy that they're going to ease RJ Harvey in behind kind of to start the season at least. So I think there's definitely flex value because those players I feel like are pretty similar, RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. So I think they can kind of use them interchangeably. Obviously the veteran probably is better in pass pro and that kind of thing, which might earn them a little bit more passing down work initially. So I think there's going to be value there, and any injury to either one of those guys, both, either one of them will skyrocket. So definitely worth having on your roster as a flex guy now, and with higher potential, obviously, if he gets the stranglehold over that whole position.
All right, let's go to our next one here. I joined Travis Kelce and George Kittle as the only tight ends to be a tight end one each of the past 3 seasons. I'll read it again. I joined Travis Kelce and George Kittle as the only tight end to be a tight end one each of the past 3 seasons.
A tight end one?
Mm-hmm.
Each of the past 3 seasons.
A top 12 guy.
So we're looking for consistability here for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Anthony.
They're solid there, man. We'll go David Njoku.
That is exactly right. David
That's who I was going to guess. Yep.
Look at you guys. Right on it. I thought this was probably the easiest one of all of them. But a player that I'm starting to come around to a little bit more. I was a little resistant when they lost Jameis Winston because we know how good Jameis Winston is for pass catching options, because he'll just throw YOLO balls that if they're incomplete or picked off, he doesn't care. He's just trying to get yards and points, and that's what we want for fantasy football. But assuming Joe Flacco is the guy, he's a kind of a mild version of a Jameis Winston in that sense, where he is willing to take more chances, throw it deep, and we've seen him be effective in this offense. So is there a path where he once again shows that he can be a top tier guy, and we see not even just a tight end one season, but maybe even a top 3 tight end season?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Stefanski's going back to his offense from 2 years ago, going to run a lot of 12 personnel, really established a run. I feel like this year, and they're going to try and, eat time off the clock and really try and keep themselves in games this year. It's a reason that, people don't realize that 4th round of the NFL draft had a big run at running backs, and the Browns, even after taking Quinshon Judkins in the 2nd with a ton of needs, still took Dylan Sampson. They stuck to their board and took the best player available. And if you've been listening to the podcast, Dylan Sampson was my 6th ranked running back coming out in this class. Was a really big fan of him. And David Njoku, who's literally gotten better from not only an NFL standpoint, but from a fantasy football standpoint, every single year. Going into the year before, he had that run at the end of the year where he was tight end 1 overall. Last year got a little banged up, but still averaged about 13.5 points per game, which puts him at that elite fantasy tight end level as well. So I think there's a really good chance that Njoku could own the middle of the field when they have no real true slot receiver. If they want to put Deontay Johnson there, it's fine. Otherwise, they have Jamari Thrash. But Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman on the outside, I think there's a really good chance that David Njoku could definitely eat up the middle. And definitely with a smart quarterback, like you said, if Joe Flacco gets in there and can really read and check down the defense and go to a second read, which I think would be Njoku. And don't forget as well, David Njoku is a fantastic red zone threat, like him over anybody else. Obviously, if you want to use Cedric Tillman on the boundary, that's fine. But I think Njoku would be the number 1 read more times than not in there as well. So I think he has a chance to establish himself again this year as a top 6 fantasy tight end. And where a lot of people are going left, like a guy Matt mentioned at a trade show, I think there's a very good chance that Njoku outscores a guy like Sam Laporta even this year. So I think, with Sam Laporta finished, I think tight end 6 last year. I think Njoku kind of slide in that slot. And, when we look at the type tight ends like this year, where it's Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, TJ Hawkinson, David Njoku. And then we're looking at guys like Evan Ingram, probably in that 5th role right around there. And obviously if Arthur Smith still loves a guy like Jonnu Smith with not a lot of options out there.
George Kittle as well.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Of course, George Kittle in there. You know what I mean? So I think Njoku, I feel more comfortable about, if you say pick one or the other for the 2025 season, I would take Njoku over Sam Laporta. And listen, if they don't sign him by the time camp hits, Njoku's playing for a new contract on another team. So he's going to be in there ready to ball out. So I think he's a great buy. I think he's a great ad. I think to me, I feel more sure about him helping me be that tight end difference maker than a guy even like Sam Laporta.
All right.
Hey, dude. Yep, I'm with you there. So I don't have much to add. I think you nailed it.
Hey guys, we are super excited to announce that we have a show that we've been doing for a few months now called Roster Rescue. It's every Monday at noon, and sometimes we even do extra shows if we have a lot of roster rescues to do. But basically what it is, it's an opportunity for us to take a look at your guys' teams, your specific team, and say, hey, I think you should go into rebuild. Hey, I think you are a contending team. Hey, trade for this guy. Hey, maybe look to make this move. We get eyes and hands on your specific team. So if you want to do that, go ahead and head to the website, go under the store tab and go down to Roster Rescue. Go there, use promo code RESCUE10 and you'll get 10% off. So head there today. It's a great opportunity for us to come rescue your rosters. All right. I was top 10 in targets with 140 in 2024. And we drafted no one of note at my position of wide receiver. However, I find myself outside the top 160 in overall ADP.
Oh, wow.
140 targets?
140 targets last year.
Cortland
top
Sutton?
10 at the wide receiver position. Nope. It's not Cortland Sutton. Outside of the
Terry
top
McLaurin?
60. Was not Terry McLaurin.
Outside the top 60?
160.
I thought you said 160.
160. Top 160. It's outside. He's outside of the top 160.
Yeah, that's so low, dude.
Right. And this was the player that I was going to pick as my gem or stash. If
Khalil Shakir?
It's not Khalil Shakir. It's a good guess. This player, especially
targets.
early on in the season, was gobbling up targets. Played all year, but early in the year was really gobbling up targets.
Not Jacoby Myers.
It was not Jacoby Myers. That's a fantastic guess, though.
I'm drawing a complete blank.
Darnell Mooney
was not Mooney.
Rashid Shaheed.
Not Shaheed. He got injured pretty early.
Yeah, he got injured. Yep.
He led the league in targets.
Yeah, he was crushing early on, but yeah.
Yeah. He only played 4 or 5 games or something, right?
Yeah. NFC East.
It's outside the top 60 that's really throwing me off.
Top 160 in overall ADP.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think in the NFC, so you have Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown,
Devontae Smith. What are we missing? What are we missing? Tell us.
This is
Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson ended up being the 10th player in targets last year with 140 targets.
Oh,
I think we probably could have sat there for another 10 minutes and I would not have guessed Wan'Dale Robinson, by the way. He's where he belongs. It's fine. I'm fine with him there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a sneaky play guy. He's a sneaky upside guy. We all know that New York doesn't have a ton of options out there. They still have Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, Greg Dulcich at tight end. They re-signed Darius Slayton, but it really is the Malik Neighbors show. And then I think another team that's going to really try and establish the run out there and run the ball a little bit more. I think it's the reason they drafted Cam Scatterboo, right? For that, that under Tyrone Tracy. And I think Tyrone Tracy has a better chance to work it. I think they have a better chance of work Tyrone Tracy in the slot of Cam Scatterboo's on the field as well. It kind of eat in some of Wan'Dale Robinson too. But
he had 140 targets and not even 700 yards. Listen, Wan'Dale Robinson's fine at 100, so he could go down if he wants. It's fine. You can drop him. It's fine.
Yeah, and that was
he can go 180, 200. It's totally.
He didn't do a lot with his targets. Was the 36th receiver on the season, top 10 in targets, 36th in overall production, and did not miss a single game. So that was the hard part. Is it was mostly catch and fall down, unfortunately.
Yeah, but at 160 in a draft, a guy who's not too old and just the upside there. The same coaching staff. If they like to target him that much and would draw up plays for him, worth a shot. Again, I'm not saying, ooh, this is my sneaky play of the week. But when you're that low in the draft, you're just looking for those kind of guys, right? Like those younger guys that at least draw some upside. That if you want to get rid of them, cut them, no big deal.
I'm not saying get rid of him, cut him. I'm just saying drop him 160, 180, whatever.
He's one of those guys.
Fine. He's a highly replaceable player
for sure, and he would be a hard one to ever put in my lineup. But best ball, I'd be much more interested just because with that many targets, even let's say it drops to 120. Okay, that late, if I could get a guy with 120 targets, all you have to do is break one. That's all you got to do. So, now he did not do that very much this year because he had 0 touchdowns. 0.
One more.
I take that back. He had 3. I was looking at rushing touchdowns. He had 3, but still, with that many targets, that's pretty bad. All right, last one. We don't need to spend a ton of time talking about this player because I usually try to put names in that we don't talk about very often. But this is a guy that we do talk about a decent amount, so we don't have to spend a ton of time. But it was a fun anecdote that I wanted to put it in. I am the only quarterback that played at least 12 games and did not have any single-digit scoring games all season. I am the only quarterback that played at least 12 games and did not have one single-digit scoring game all season.
Kyler Murray.
Was not Kyler Murray. It was a good guess, though. He only had 1 or 2.
We talk about Brock Purdy all the time.
Was not Purdy. They had a weird season in San Francisco.
Baker Mayfield.
Was not Baker. He had 1 rough week, and that was it. But
Jared Goff.
Was not Goff.
Jaden Daniels never have a single point game.
He actually did.
He actually did. Sorry.
Josh Allen will never have a single point game.
He actually did.
I think he had a 9 point something game. If memory serves me right.
Lamar Jackson would never have a single point game.
He actually did. He did have a single point game.
Joe Burrow?
Actually, you know what? As I'm looking, I lied. Josh Allen did, and Jaden Daniels did. But you're right. Lamar Jackson did not. So there's actually 2. As I'm looking.
I knew he never would.
You knew it. There is a second one, though. Where's the second one?
Rush for double-digit points just to make sure.
Yep. Now, he actually – and he wasn't even close last year, actually. I don't know how I missed him, but his, lowest game was 15 points. So he wasn't even close to getting a single-digit game.
Yeah. I peeked, so I know the answer. Should I just say it or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it Patrick Mahomes?
It's Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes actually, for not having a great season, was the model of consistency. He did not have any single point games all year, and actually never had a game below 14 points all season. So he was actually a very steady quarterback. He did not hit the peaks that we're used to. He was actually a very solid, steady guy all year.
Nice. All right. Well, that was fun for game week. Really wore me out here.
It also doesn't help that it's 11:30 at night.
Yeah, this is a long day. So we're back next week. It's Garrett's off. He's going to go find Smokey the Bear and try and help prevent forest fires. So good for him, saving the forest. And Matt and I will be back here next week. We don't know what we're talking about yet, but I promise you one thing. Matt and I will figure it out.
And we will not be playing games. So, adios.